Hi, my name is Joseph Simone, and I will be retelling a narrative for the English 020, excuse me, Unit 2.1 assignment. What is a narrative? The narrative I will retell is the narrative of President Grover Cleveland. Where are you? During the Depression, no one had any money, so good quality entertainment was hard to come by, but still, children had their own imaginations and ways to sate themselves even without the monetary resources that would be available to most reading the story. One of such ways that they entertained themselves was with collectible trading cards that came with packages of gum, and kids in this small town of Monument had begun to obsess over them as they had no other thing to do during the day. And the story follows one boy who has established a small economy of trade between the cards, the trading cards of cowboy, creatively named cowboy cards. And Father's Day comes around, but the main character, he becomes greedy, and instead of contributing to help his siblings buy his father something nice for Father's Day, he instead agrees to pitch in a small amount, and he then uses the rest to purchase cowboy cards. But when he goes out to purchase the gum with the cowboy cards, he finds that cowboy cards have been discontinued. Feeling remorse, he quickly goes back to the other side of the town to help his siblings and make amends, only to find that they had already made the purchase. Afterwards, he attempts to apologize to his brother, who criticizes him for being greedy about something as petty as cowboy cards instead of helping their father. He goes home with some guilt, and weeks later, a new form of entertainment is announced called President Cards, where there's collectible trading cards with the presidents of those times, with handy pieces of information on them that they learned and again began to obsess over. And they all had collections once again, and in the town of Monument they had sorry, I'm trying to remember this from memory. They had gotten to the point where they were all looking for the same card. The card President Grover Cleveland. And for week after week, they kept trying to go in, find what they needed to find, preemptively get them before everyone else could get them, so that they could have a complete collection first, but to no avail. Later on, the main character becomes increasingly desperate in his search, and learns from a friend slash nemesis that Grover Cleveland cards can be gotten on the north side of town. He goes over, he finds an offer, but the offer is for a card that he doesn't have. A card that is had by that same friend. So he goes and he attempts to get the card from friend. Sorry, 1 minute.
Tía. Hola.
I also forgot to mention that for completing the set, they would get a signed baseball glove by a much respectable player. That is unavailable for sale anywhere else. This is also an important part of the narrative. The same friend.
Yeah.
No. Once the main character obtains the card for the trade from that friend, he goes, he collects the Grover Cleveland card to complete the set. But on the way home, his brother confronts him, and no. Earlier in the story, the main character found out that his brother has a crush on someone and wants to go to the dance with them. But unfortunately, their family is too poor to afford the shirt, shoes, and bouquet required for such a formal evening. And so, and then on the way home, the main character finds his older brother sitting on the steps to their home, looking sad that he wouldn't be able to go. And instead of going and taking the signed baseball glove for himself, as was his plan that he toiled for the past month or so, he instead picks up the glove, goes to that friend, sells it for $5, a large amount at the time, and gives the $5 to his brother so that he can purchase the shirt, shoes, and bouquet that he needs to go to the dance. But afterwards there was internal conflict in that even though he had done a good deed for someone that he had wronged previously and essentially done a complete opposite of what he did last time to make him feel bad, he didn't immediately feel good. So the story ends with him going to the church, kneeling and praying until he felt good about his good deed.